my guys? We are back. This is the Juice Box. I hope everyone had a happy Easter. I hope everyone had a happy 420. Hashtag blaze it. Big Czar, what's up?
What's up? Glad to be here. We're not virtual this week, so that's good.
That is good.
No offense to last week's episode, but
just saying it sucked.
It was a little rough.
Also, I'm not sick anymore, so that's also good.
Didn't suck.
No. Hold on. Don't get it twisted.
Don't disrespect Tiggy
No.
Nation like that.
The actual content was great. I'm saying Skyping sucks.
It is hard.
No, it's trash.
The actual conversation, no knock on the conversations at all. I loved having all five of us there, but everybody knows it'd be so much better in person. That's all. That's the only point.
I just want to know what kind of technology, like, when you're watching, like, an award show, for instance, and someone's not there, but they come across the screen and it's like live, like real time, no delay, perfect quality. You know what I mean?
Dude,
like,
I was watching, I forget what the podcast is called, but it's the guys from Workaholics.
Yeah.
Theirs,
isn't it just like the workaholic? No,
it's the four guys from the show.
I'm trying to think of the name. Sorry, I didn't mean it.
Yeah, I can't remember the podcast name. I honestly have not really ever listened to it, but I was watching clips from it today, and they had an episode where all four of them were somewhere else, but it was flawless, like no delay, nothing, like good connection. I don't know if maybe they post-edited it or what, but
yeah, it does that. I always think the same thing when I see that stuff. I'm like, did somebody take the time to edit out that 1 second delay? Because if you have people that work for you like that, I would be that stickler.
You've listened to Dax Shepard's, right?
Yes.
They definitely do that.
100%.
There's no pause ever. It's just boom, 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 boom. And there's like I don't think they even have theirs on video.
But then again, I wonder
it's
too.
Just I think like they just cut every little silence out on the audio.
But I'm also sure. I'm sure, like, if you paid for the highest internet possible and, like, everything was wired, like, I'm sure it would minimize that delay. I'm assuming it would,
I
but
bet
everybody...
you there's better programs, too, other than just, like, doing it off Skype like us.
Yeah. Like,
I can tell you, the first ever Midnight Gamer episode, I edited it in post.
Yeah.
I got rid of the delay.
It's hard.
And it sucked. It took way too long to do, and I was like, I am not doing this every episode, so I stopped doing it. But
like here
it can be done.
Here I can tell who wants to talk and who wants to say something. When somebody stops in Skype, everybody just like puts their hands up. They're like, "Who's going next, dude? Freeze!"
Yeah, it's less than ideal. You're right, and even if you can't see someone wanting to talk, like it's easy to just start talking in person, and then that person will stop because they hear your voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just easier to talk over people too if you need to.
For sure.
I'm so disappointed that I didn't realize my face was like right up against the camera. Like I was 75 years old.
You look good.
Yeah.
I never used it.
It looked fine to me. I didn't even notice during the episode.
I was bummed
because we were small people in a classroom. But once you blow it up, I'm like sitting right next to it.
I was bummed that like it kind of was similar with me though too, because the schoolroom thing didn't come out. So like I recorded the whole thing. I was all excited, and then it just recorded the actual video. So when I saw it, I thought that about myself too. I was like, damn it, I look really close.
Yeah, I'm pissed that it didn't record the classroom. I'm like, that really sucks.
I'm happy I decided. I just like snapped a picture while we were recording.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I love the little.
I don't know why
honestly
it didn't work. I don't know.
Did you just record like on Skype? Is there like a button where you can just record the whole thing?
Well, yeah, I recorded.
Next time we'll have to screen record. Yeah.
Well, so I almost did that, but then the reason I didn't is because then it would record. It would have recorded the whole screen, and I guess if I make it full screen, it wouldn't matter.
No, yeah. You could just make it full
You could
screen.
probably crop it somehow.
Yeah,
All right.
There's gotta
or
be an
crop
app
it,
there or
yeah.
something.
All right, good to know. Because I think we should do that once a month. That way we can get Tig on there once a month, but it won't be. We'll do our 4 or 3, or if we have to take off or whatever, and that will just be. We'll start like a whole new ticker thing, and it'll be like bonus episode 1, or we'll
Yeah.
name it something.
Because I really liked it. I thought it was cool, especially
It's
having
fun.
Tig, obviously.
Yeah. It was
different.
nice.
It's fun, but it blows because
Yeah,
coming back
for
here, I'm
sure.
ready. Electricity. I'm like, let's do it. And last week I would talk, and I'm like, fuck. I don't know. Do I talk now?
Dude, like I was thinking of ways where we could get Tig's at least like voice on every episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We used to.
be.
Well, I mean,
Ma-
like we used to do on Midnight Gamer. I'd have Tig record we do like a This Week in Call of Duty news thing, and Tig would just record himself, wherever he was for like 3 minutes talking about what was going on in the Call of Duty community, and he'd send that to me, and I would just
Throw it in there.
plan it in the episode somewhere. I mean, as we could do that on
We should
on
do
this,
that.
yeah,
Or
like we
ads or
could come
something.
up
He
with.
could do some ad
Yeah.
He could do
reads.
all ad reads, or he could do like just so we could have like a wacky weekly segment that's just like Tig's thoughts, and he's just like 3 minutes of just like what he's been thinking of or like what's going on, and then obviously we just comment on it after.
Dude, I would love to find out ways to get him in. And I was thinking the ads thing too. And dude, maybe we just get to a point too. Like it wasn't a big deal, but remember in the beginning, we would take breaks. Like it was a normal thing. Like we'd do I like kind of going through, but when you take a break like that, it is easier to add things in. So I don't know. It'd
Yeah.
be cool to have him on doing
I
something.
mean, it's definitely something we could easily figure out, honestly.
And it was always at like the 30 mark too. Everybody would have to pee at the same time. We're like, guys, we have to take
We'd
a
be
break.
like, "Oh, take a break."
You'd have everyone kind of
Yeah.
break.
break. Oh shit. So yeah, Bubba, you broke the big news earlier. I think it was today or yesterday. Since you absolutely hate streaming services, I think you should take the floor with this one.
Yes, groundbreaking news. I'll have to pull it up. But very sadly, I was very excited as I spoke on here about it. CNN Plus is done after 1 month. So if you got a month free trial for CNN Plus, you never paid for it, but it is over. They spent $300 million
Saw
on that project and scrapped it in 1 month.
Saw
That's
that.
crazy. Honestly, that's kind of just, to me, loser mentality.
Yeah.
You're not even gonna
Yeah.
try to.
Which I'm back into. I wish they would make me an independent whatever contractor for big businesses. Just ask me about ideas, because I would have told them that's fucking stupid. Don't do it,
Yeah.
and they would have saved $300 million.
The name was stupid. You were destined to fail with CNN Plus because most people, I don't even know what kind of content was available on this app.
I don't either.
I didn't check it out, but like most people are going to hear that and be like, so it's just news?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, why do I
exactly.
need that?
Like I said, Bourdain's show is really good. Then their documentaries are really good, but that's it.
Yeah.
You can't, and it's all just being like, I want all my stuff, or I don't want people to make money off something mine. It pisses me off.
Dude,
Nah, I hear you.
one of
So
the
you
big
pull two things to make a whole big fiasco.
and one
Yeah.
of the big things that they were pitching too is like Don Lemon is going to have his own 2-hour show where he sits down and talks to somebody, like a long form conversation. It's like, just do a podcast then.
Yeah.
What do you have to have? What are you doing all streaming
And
services
it's li-
just for? People don't give a fuck, dude. You guys lost all of your whatever the word is.
And
credibility.
Credibility.
the-
It's gone.
That's what I was gonna say. The stock on news has never been worse. So why would you think people who subscribe to a news only platform?
Oh,
Stupid.
please tell me though you clicked the tweet and read the tweets underneath people defending CNN.
No, I wish I did.
Oh, dude, the one that stuck out to me was like, obviously you didn't do your research, dude, because they just got bought by Discovery and Discovery wants one app. It's like, what are you arguing? Who cares? It's CNN.
Well,
Like,
their-
why
their
did you
app-
comment that?
Their app stinks too. Yeah, they're making money off CNN. Joe in fucking Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got a little heated.
It's
all
okay,
right.
Bubba. Let it all, that's what we're here for. Let it all out.
So, speaking of big money, did you guys see every Stranger Things season 4 episode? The budget was $30 million an episode.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it.
Insane.
That is insane. That's like a movie.
Well, they said these
It's like
episodes,
a movie each episode.
every episode in season 4 is supposed to be like an hour long, which I think they were always just half-hour episodes, weren't they?
I can't
can't
remember, to be
remember,
honest.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure like all these episodes are double the length now. So we're getting a lot of content, and then season 5 to end it all. I'm pretty hyped because it's been a while without that show, and
How long's it been? 2 years?
it's been a while, dude. Like
It has been.
It's
So
definitely
season
been 2
3's been
years.
a long time. Yeah, I mean, I think season 3 was before. This is
Definitely
gonna be
before
for
COVID.
life. Yeah, this is life now. But season 3 was before COVID.
Are we gonna say that forever?
Probably.
You
Yeah.
think?
but
That'll
that's
always
what
be-
I think it definitely was before then.
it was pre-COVID,
It was. It
Dude,
was.
I hate that.
It was a pre-COVID.
post-COVID.
Yeah,
But are we at post-COVID yet? Some
I
people will
think.
say yes. Some people
I'd
say
say
no.
yeah.
Here-
I'd say we've been at it for a while.
Yeah.
Here's why I will say we are definitely at it now. Is they just took down the national mask mandate for planes and public
Yeah.
transportation.
I say you could
Let's
argue
go.
that it ended when lockdowns ended.
No,
I'm with you.
I say it ended when Russia and Ukraine started going at it.
That's true too.
To be honest with
a
you,
lot of people might say that as well.
I think a lot of people would agree with me on that. But yeah, we're definitely post-COVID. I'd say.
And so it's all perfect because you see Stranger Things, 30 million an episode. You got to assume there's at least going to be 6 to 8 episodes. I would assume so. And then you see the stock numbers and subscribers coming out for Netflix, and it is tanking right now. I think they said this is the first time ever that they haven't had more subscribers
Yeah,
each
this
year.
is the first year that their subscribers went down, which is crazy to think
and
about.
why is that? Is it because they came out and said that they're going to start charging everybody? Does that have any effect on
increased
it?
the-
Maybe a little
subscrip-
bit, but yeah,
Is
right?
it just
Yeah.
the
yeah.
content?
I think they've raised the prices several times.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a time when Netflix was only like $5 a month?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like college days. it
And
was-
when we were in college, I swear it was like $6.50 a month.
It was
something
so
like
cheap.
that.
It was so cheap, and everybody there would be like 40 people on one account.
Mm-hmm. I do remember that.
But I don't know. I'm kind of with you, Bubba. It's like, why is this happening now? Like, is it you could bounce back and forth on everything? Is it just because things just keep getting more
Times
expensive?
are tight, bro.
Yeah,
Times are tight.
Are times that tight? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, we've talked about it, but like everything was on Netflix. Like even Game of Thrones was on Netflix when it started, right?
Yeah.
So now, like, there's
Was
so
it?
many more.
Well,
options.
I don't know about Game of
I don't
Thrones,
think
but
Game of Thrones was.
I'm pretty sure it was. I'm pretty sure I watched the first episode. I mean, I don't know
maybe
for
no. I
sure.
just meant you're right. Everything was on
All-
Netflix.
I
though.
know, like,
everything was.
All of those shows, like
Yeah.
I remember watching Showtime shows and stuff. It might have been on there.
It could have
I
been.
mean, I'll be honest. I definitely do not use Netflix as much as I used to.
100% agree.
I'd say right now in my current life, I'm using HBO Max the most.
Well, I have to, since we're talking about Netflix, I am like so locked in on my Friday Night Lights rewatch. It's actually like disgusting. I can't stop watching it. I started this. It wasn't that long ago. How many weeks ago? Probably I said on here,
3.
probably 3 or 4 weeks ago. I'm almost to the end of season 4 already.
Jesus.
And there's like a lot of episodes per season, and they're like 40 minutes long or something. That show is absolutely electric. Like the rewatch is almost better than the watching it the first time.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding.
How long's it been?
Freshman year of college.
Okay, so a long time.
Yeah.
So it should hit good.
Dude,
you know
it
what I mean? You
hits.
take that big of a break.
Coach Taylor is like the best football coach of all time.
I know you'll say
Legit.
no, but I have these two. So like Friday Night Lights and then One Tree Hill.
I knew that's what you were gonna say.
Are those shows for me? I feel like you
They're
would
like
love.
they're like the same. I like Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
It at times can be a little soap opera-y for me, but it's a pretty good show. Well, I could not get into One Tree Hill.
Really?
I
just couldn't.
tried One Tree Hill too. Maybe I need to give it a
Yeah.
second chance.
Give it a whirl.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. I don't like basketball.
Okay.
I mean, like
makes
I like
sense.
playing basketball and I like watching college basketball, but like I'm not gonna watch a show centered around. I know there's other shit going
Yeah.
on, but I don't know. Friday Night Lights though, I like a lot more. Plus, I like what's his face. What's it, Taylor?
Coach Taylor.
No.
Taylor
Taylor
Kitsch,
Kitsch.
Kim
Taylor
Riggins.
Kitsch. Yeah, Tim.
He's the fucking goat.
So what? That's interesting. What streaming service do you think you use the most?
Well, right now it's Netflix, no doubt, because I'm watching Friday Night Lights and Shameless simultaneously.
What about
right
you?
now.
So Netflix is actually the only one I don't have, I think, out of the main. Probably HBO Max, but Hulu a lot too. I watch a lot of shows on Hulu.
Because, dude, I mean, I know this isn't a streaming service, but out of all the apps I think I use the most, it's YouTube. I truthfully
Oh,
could
hands down, me
I
too.
truthfully could probably get away with not paying for anything. Like if push came to shove, I could survive on YouTube.
Yeah, I use YouTube a lot. Definitely more than all these other. I'm really only using streaming services at night when I go to bed.
Yeah.
I got guys. I'm sorry, bro. I'm gassy as
At
hell.
night.
When I go to bed, I mean, and I like have different uses for all of them. Like
Yeah.
I'm not actively watching any shows on Netflix right now, and I probably won't until Stranger Things, which is soon. But I use Netflix to watch comedy movies. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Netflix and HBO Max. HBO Max, I think, has the best selection of comedy movies out there right
I
now.
agree. Thank you.
It's so good.
Well,
Thank you.
me and Angie watched. I think it's a Netflix original. Dave Franco produced it. I think it's new. It's called The Rental. It's like I don't want to say. It's like a thriller-ish movie. It's with Lip Gallagher from Shameless. He's like the main character.
Okay.
But they rent an Airbnb out in like the Pacific Northwest somewhere out in the mountains, and it becomes like this murder.
Oh God.
But it's good. It was actually pretty good. I liked it. And then that other one, Jake, I told you to watch. It's with Jason Segel. You know
Yes.
Jason Segel, friends with
Of course.
Why
Yeah.
do I always say friends with benefits?
Yeah.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall guy.
Yes.
And it's a weird, scary-ish movie too. Like, remember I told you?
Yeah.
He's like some guy who thinks he goes to this billionaire's vacation house. Like let's say it's Elon Musk type of guy, thinking he's not there, and he like breaks in, and he's just like walking around doing his thing, and then they come in, and then he like holds him hostage, but then it ends up like all this shit going wrong. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent here. That's a pretty good Netflix movie too.
Check
know-
that one out.
You know what I watched this past week for the first time, actually, since we're on this topic? Have any of you guys seen Don't Look Up yet?
No.
Yes.
You watched it?
Yes.
What? I mean, like, did that movie do anything to you? Because it like frightened the hell out of me.
That okay. This is great that you brought this up because I have I'm gonna put a pin in the Forever Purge if I forget. I'm just pinning that.
Pin
just
it.
saying that. So Don't Look Up startled me so much because they portrayed, at least Americans, I'm not going to say the world, the American people the best way that they possibly
to
could
an
have.
absolute T.
To an absolute T. Every person in that movie is such an American, and I feel like everybody should watch it just to open up your eyes a tad at how much and how little we care about serious life situations.
It's
I
like
do need to
I
watch
saw a very good. I guess it was a review of the movie, but like they put it perfectly. They said it might be the most. It might be the most funniest / scariest movie of the year. Like it's terrifying and funny at the same time.
Can you give me a quick refresher? Is that the COVID-based movie? or
No,
is it-
that's the one with Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence. They're scientists.
Jonah
and
Hill's in it, right?
Jonah Hill's in it. Meryl Streep's in it. They discover a like massive meteor heading
I
towards
see.
Earth.
I see. Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Isn't Leo basically saying the world's gonna end or something?
oh,
Or
he was
no?
right. But yes, he's
Oh, so the
basically-
world does end in the movie.
I mean, it might.
I mean, I don't want to give spoilers.
No, yeah, no. So is that what's happening? Like they're saying this is coming?
Yeah,
but nobody gives a
they
fuck?
like do the math over and over and over
Uh-huh.
again, and they find out they got like 6 months and 14 days or something like that till the meteor is going to hit Earth. And yeah, they start. Jennifer Lawrence is like she's a PhD student, so he's her professor, but he's a doctor or whatever.
Dang, are they banging?
No,
Oh.
no, and you know that's funny you said that because when the movie started, I turned to Brooke and I said, "So what are our bets on them banging at some point in this movie?"
Yeah.
And they don't bang.
You want to
Wow.
know who she bangs though?
Jonah Hill.
Timothy Chalamet.
Oh,
Oh,
of
yeah,
course,
Jennifer
she
Lawrence.
bangs Timothy
And his,
Chalamet.
and his character's hilarious. But yeah, the movie is like real eye opening and like fucking. I started it late at night on a work
that's
night.
terrible.
On a work night too. I was like, I'll put this on, fall asleep. Nope, eyes were glued to the screen. Watched the whole movie. Got like no sleep because once the movie was done, I couldn't sleep. I was like, man, my mind was just totally fucked with. It's a roller coaster.
Do you want to know
Seriously.
so after it happened, I feel like I did it at my mom and dad's because I was telling them about it. I started researching like when is a close time that they thought this was going to happen. And one of the closest ones was 2019. Like they were, I'm pretty sure how I read it, they were like 2 days out from alerting people being like, there's a chance this rock's going to hit us.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Dude,
That's
you
kinda
guys
wild.
just need to watch it.
Yeah, I do need to watch it.
I'll
It's-
give it a watch.
That's kind of wild. We haven't just gotten crushed by a meteor yet.
I think about it way too often.
You know what I mean?
Because why not? You know what I mean? Why?
Yeah. But
Semi.
but there's just so no. Speaking of this semi, bro. Everyone listening, I promise I'm not stoned today, but
I am.
I just have been saying crazy stuff. No, but like I was thinking about the simulation theory today. And I'm like, one thing to me that enforces it to me, like everyone's probably thinking you're dumb. But how there's people like in the earth who like look the same as another person that are 0% related, or like people have the same mannerisms or like the same cadence in their voice. I'm like, how is this possible? Like I was listening to a Logan Paul podcast with Mike Posner. Him and Steve Cresson talk the exact same.
They do.
And I'm like, how is this possible? This is they you know what I mean? It's like simulation. They don't they ran out of code to create new attributes to people, so some people have the same attributes.
How about this?
There we go.
There was I read a story this week. It's apparently a very famous case, and I don't know. I never heard of it till this week. Where this kid, I forget how old he was. Very young, like 3 or 4, like old enough to talk, but still very young. And he just started going crazy one day, crying to his mother, and was telling his mother that he was somebody else. He started describing like his previous life and all
What?
this stuff. So they took him to a fucking like doctor, and the doctor like started compiling all this information on who he was describing, and he started asking the kid the questions, and they were like all matching up, like
To one guy.
to a T.
What?
It was like he was like this. The kid, like this 3-year-old or 4-year-old, is like saying he was like this famous Hollywood movie producer back in like the 1940s or 50s.
What
Dude,
the fuck?
And like
What?
he was just getting all the information right to a T.
What, dude?
The kid's still alive.
We should.
He's
have him
obviously
on.
a lot older now, and he has like no recollection of it.
Dude.
What?
How weird is that?
Bro.
It was on the unsolved. I'm on a unsolved mysteries subreddit, and that one was posted this week.
I want to
What a
watch
freaked
this
me
shit.
out.
What a nightmare that would be.
If you're the parents, you'd be like, my kid's possessed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be so
dead
sad.
ass.
You'd be like,
like,
what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'd be so sad. I was like, out of all the kids I could have had, I get stuck with this fucking dingbat.
This guy thinks he's from another life.
Bro.
It's creepy,
That's
though, isn't
wild.
that? Like
That is
that's
creepy.
kind of stuff like reincarnation or like simulation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if it's all one simulation, you just get recycled over and over. I don't know. Crazy things
That
to think
is
about.
crazy.
Yeah, it's weird.
I always used to think like when I was in college and like getting high all the time and having, very brainstorming sessions on my couch,
Intellectual
intellectual
sessions.
sessions, I'd always be like, I think I figured out what deja vu is. I think deja vu is flashes and visions from your past life flashing through. You have sometimes I have crazy deja vu where I'm like, this has happened.
Yeah.
before.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, this
feel that.
happened. But then I'm like, how can I explain that phenomenon?
Dude, remember 2 years ago? That is my theory on sleeping. That we don't ever sleep. Like when we go to sleep, there is another us that's living in another universe, and that's why deja vu happens, because we've really seen these things, but it wasn't in this specific.
Man, I tell you, my nighttime version of myself gets a lot of fine ass women. Then
Your nighttime version's a dog.
he's a dog. He's just slaying.
My nighttime version of myself got robbed $20,000 last night.
Damn.
Really?
In my dream, yeah.
Damn.
I won, or I can't remember, like I won $20,000, and like they gave it to me cash, like 20 grand, and I was pumped, and I put it in my backpack, and I started walking to the bus stop to go to the airport to fly home, and I just got jumped,
Oh,
and they
no.
took all my money, and I was
that
was
was it?
pissed,
That was
yeah.
it.
I was like, dang, I don't have 20 grand anymore. But yeah, it was pretty sad.
You're going to bounce back tonight.
Yeah.
Something will happen.
That was sad. Definitely. Sad.
Do you have any of you guys have like a reoccurring place in dreams?
Not so much anymore. I used to have like recurring dreams just in general, like the same thing happened.
Like I've had several dreams throughout my life dating back to like childhood, like preteen, to where I will be at this same house.
That's
weird.
Yeah.
Which,
Like I've had the dreams, I'd say maybe 5 or 6 times in life, but all like that spread out up to now,
dude,
which is kind of weird.
it-
Like the most recent one I think was probably like within 2, I want to say like right before COVID, but they all stick out to me because you know what I mean?
it
Yeah.
might be the house that you live in when you go to sleep and you wake up. That might be your crib.
And you're just slaying.
You're just slaying in that crib.
Yeah, you know, it's just really weird. I'm literally picturing the house right now. It's not anywhere I've definitely ever been to in this life. I don't know. It's just weird how your brain works.
Dude, because some nights I have dreams where it's like a very normal type scenario, like just a very normal society and stuff like that. And then there's other nights where I have dreams and it's like I'm in like a weird ass Candyland type place where the best way I can describe it is, remember in 22 Jump Street when they take the drug and Jonah Hill's on one side? That's what I have dreams in like places like that.
I love
too.
that fucking scene. It's hilarious.
It's such, dude. Okay,
Can you
It's
take
20
Yeah, that's the funniest thing to me.
me
I feel like
higher?
22 Jump Street is one of the rare movies, in my opinion, where the second one's better than the first.
I laughed my ass off.
I don't think there's a lot of
In the second one.
franchises that are like that, to where they might have the sequels be just as good, but like I love 21 Jump Street, but I truly think 22 Jump Street's better.
Yeah, actually, if you remember, I think I did an old Czar's top 10
We did do that.
where I made a top 10 list of comedy movies where the sequel was better or
I
just
think
as
it was
funny
like
as
any
the first.
movie,
Maybe it was any movie.
but that was discussed, I think, before. But 22 Jump Street is
Do you think?
awesome.
Do you think? This is just going to be personal opinion. I bet you guys won't agree with me, but I think Too Fast, Too Furious is better than the first one.
Oh, I love Too Fast, Too Furious.
I can understand that
No,
argument.
I don't want to say it's better. I like it better.
Yeah.
But it's the one that like I grew up on that series, obviously, but I, for whatever reason, never owned the first DVD.
Mhm.
I owned the second one, so I
Same.
played the shit out of it.
Yeah. Dude, remember like the
Spider-Man 2.
the screen before when you started the movie, it was like the spinny cars.
It was the Universal logo, but like it was the rim of a car.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, but like, you know, when you put a DVD in and there's the screen where it's like play, deleted
Oh,
scene,
yeah.
it would just be like the spinny car. I
Yeah.
remember we would just have it on the PS2 like all day long.
Right.
But okay, so Derek Poston, who's a comic that me and JT saw open up for Brendan Schaub, he was on Flagrant 2 this week, which is Andrew Schultz and Akash's podcast. He had an insane take about he said that he believes that Infinity War is the best movie of all time. like not superhero movie.
I
like
think it's fair.
like-
it is
like-
really good.
And he gave a really good argument where like it's like one of the only times really where everybody comes together in some type of universe and it's a pop-off situation where they lose. And
Yeah.
like it's such a big like the first scene, he used this, but obviously we've all seen it here now. The first scene where Hulk just gets his ass whipped.
Yeah.
And then Loki just gets his neck choked out. I just remember sitting in the theater being like, this is about to be fucking insane. But long story short, I mean, do you guys think it's possible to say that a superhero movie is the greatest movie of all time?
I think
Absolutely.
definitely.
I
think
mean,
so.
it's one. It's, you know, I'm gonna fuck this up. Is it subjective or objective? It's a subjective opinion, right?
Now you're messing me up. I
Yeah,
knew the
I
answer.
don't know.
now.
Yeah.
I never did get that
Well,
right.
it's
Objective,
it's
subjective.
I know what you
relevant.
mean.
It's
I know what you're
relevant.
saying.
It's
yeah.
relevant to the person's personal taste.
Okay.
Yeah.
You could say any movie is the best movie
Yes,
ever
I
because
think
it's
you're right.
it's going to be whatever that person thinks. But
Yeah.
I don't think that's out of the realm,
No.
dude. You can't. It's so stupid that the superhero movies don't get recognized.
I don't
Amen.
get. I don't
The-
get it either. I
when
really
they're when
don't.
they're the ones that are constantly shattering the box
Yeah.
office records.
Yeah,
So
motherfuckers. So shut up.
like,
Shut the fuck
Amen.
up.
It makes no sense to me. So obviously those movies should be considered some of the best ever.
I was just shocked to hear him say that movie because they were talking about movie stuff like I'll tell you his first take. He said that he said Denzel Washington's not that good of an actor.
Now that I can't. He's one of my top actors ever.
And here's
I
his
love
reasoning
Denzel.
on, and again, everybody can agree, disagree. It's either objective or subjective,
Well,
whichever
it's-
word we
yeah, one of
decided
the-
on.
yeah.
His reasoning is because Denzel doesn't have much range.
Okay.
He's not wrong.
Yeah,
that's
I
what I was
get
just sitting here
that, yeah.
thinking. His character in most movies is quite
The same.
the same.
It's like the
but his movies are
Great.
killer. I mean,
yeah. You're. I mean, he is like always like the outspoken, like real confident dude. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
I mean, like
yeah. I get.
I get what you're
that,
saying.
Yeah.
Have we ever seen Denzel in like a comedy?
No.
I don't think I have. No. I mean, every time I think of Denzel, I think of him.
He's like a badass.
I think of him as the Remember the Titans head coach badass. And then I think of him as a gangster in training.
Dude, Jake,
Day.
those were my two literally same things in my
He's
mind.
in the Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3. Too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Have you seen that? That's a good movie. Objective is like objectively factual, right? So that would mean subjective is
You're
like
asking
I
the
just
wrong-
to you.
That sounds right.
Sounds
I think
good to
I think
me.
subjective was the usage I was looking for.
Yes,
right?
it was.
Yeah,
you are
he
right.
is always like the badass dude because you have the Equalizer, the Book of Eli, right?
Yeah.
Remember the Titans, Training Day. Obviously, there's a million other ones.
The
But those are
movie
like
that always
some of my
comes to
favorite
mind for
ones.
me is Man on Fire. You ever seen that?
I don't
I don't know
I've
if I
ever
have.
seen
Where
that.
he's the bodyguard of what's her name? She was so famous as a child actor, the little blonde haired
Hayden
girl.
Panettiere.
No,
Dakota Fanning.
Dakota Fanning.
Good job, Jake.
He's Dakota Fanning's like bodyguard in I think they're in Mexico. They're in some Hispanic area where the cartel is like big.
Bro, the simulation is real. Want to know why? I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No.
Denzel Washington has a movie called Deja Vu.
He does. Yes, he does. I don't think
Life
I've ever
is
seen that one.
crazy. But that's a sick ass movie.
So yeah, I thought that was a
Love Deja Vu.
wild thing to hear because I love Denzel.
What's your favorite Denzel movie?
but mine's easy, not even thought.
Go ahead.
The Book of Eli. Obviously,
That was
Remember the
very good.
Titans is obviously, but the Book of Eli for sure. I love that fucking movie.
I mean, I'm a big fan. I like the Equalizer movies. I thought he was awesome in the Equalizer, but shockingly enough, dude, one of my favorite movies that Denzel's in is John Q. That we had to watch.
That's a
in school.
fucking good one.
Yeah.
It's a
I
good
wasn't. I
movie.
wasn't even thinking of that one. That one's very good.
It's a good ass movie. So I don't know, man. I probably though, if I'm keeping it real, my favorite Denzel movies him and Remember the Titans.
Yeah. Bubba?
That's what I was going to say as well. I haven't seen a lot of them, but probably have to go with Remember the Titans. Although one of my hot
Jesus Christ.
sports movie take is I think Friday Night Lights is better than movie. I think that's the best sports movie of all time.
I love
that
it. I
movie.
love that's a great take.
That and Miracle are probably the top two, I think.
Coach
yeah.
Carter slept on. Just saying.
What about you? What's your favorite?
I'm
Denzel?
going through Denzel movies, and there's some I forgot
Have
about
you seen
on here.
Fences?
I have not.
It was one of his newer ones. Him and Viola Davis both, I think, won Oscar for it. Best
Damn.
actor.
I might have to watch that.
So I'm gonna give my two that
I could be wrong, but
it's hard for me to pick between. I really like Man on Fire, and I like American Gangster a lot.
American Gangster.
But there's some movies. Have you Inside Man? Have you ever seen that movie?
Uh-uh.
That movie's fucking sick. It's about a bank robbery, and he's in on the robbery, but I believe he's it's been a while since I've seen it. I believe he's a cop, but he's actually in on the robbery that's happening
Okay.
at a bank. It's pretty cool.
That's cool.
It's a good movie.
What about Can't Sleep on Training Day?
Training
That's
Day.
Well,
just
what about his one filmed in Ferry?
Oh,
The train movie.
Unstoppable.
That's a
that's
good
a good
That's a
one.
great one too.
Him and Chris Pine.
Damn, that movie's
Oh,
fire.
what about the one where he's the fucking airplane pilot? That was
Flight.
terrifying.
Dude, I watched that freshman year.
that scene
Bro,
is terrifying.
It's
That
a
was-
lot of transportation movies.
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
Trolling.
I had one of those moments you had with Don't Look Up. Same exact scenario when I was in college freshman year, sitting in my dorm room. I put Flight on real late, and I was like locked in on it.
Oh, and
Like, so locked
tell me
in.
how high your anxiety
Dude,
levels
that's-
were.
Yeah.
The main scene where
Yeah.
he lands the plane.
Yeah,
It's insane.
dude, absolutely
Insane.
unreal.
Since you just said that, I want to bring up this question, but I feel like I already know what you guys are going to say.
Bring it up, dude.
What movie gives you the most anxiety when you watch it?
Oh, I already. Mine's probably recency bias, but the first thing that came to my mind was Uncut Gems.
Okay.
I haven't seen that yet, but recency bias again. See, here's the thing about me with anxiety-inducing movies. Like, I'm usually good. I'll watch them that first time, and I usually won't go back to them.
Yep.
So I watched Don't Look Up, and it was immediately 5 minutes into the movie, I felt my anxiety like going up because like you can just tell the panic like just from right away, and then the movie frustrates you beyond belief because like no one cares,
No one gives a fuck, dude. Nobody gives a fuck.
and it's just wild. The whole movie is just wild, and I don't know. Again, I recommend it to anyone who hasn't seen it. You should definitely see it. But another one I was thinking of, kind of recent, is the Joker movie.
See, that's what I thought
Bro,
both you were
yeah.
going to say.
That's another one. That's a good.
That one
good choice.
definitely.
Something about the Uncut Gems though, like it was a lot to do with how Adam Sandler, his acting job, like never shut the fuck up. Like shit was always, you know what I mean?
Uncut
like
Gems
always,
is phenomenal.
yeah.
That was a good one.
What did you look up?
Spring
Bubba?
Breakers.
Spring Break.
That movie
Oh,
gives
okay.
me horrible anxiety, and I've seen it a few times. That and like Savages.
Oh, yeah.
Savages gave me horrible anxiety. Good movie.
There's a lot of good movies on this list here, dude. I've been
Oh,
watching.
Prisoners
scroll.
with Hugh Jackman and
The
Jake
Revenant.
Gyllenhaal. I was even gonna say The Dark Knight, but it was on there, I think too.
Yeah, the one here I think I could say Shutter Island because like once your mind just goes and you never really know for sure. That's like a crazy.
Did you
Thing to
guys
think
ever
about.
watch Ex Machina?
I have not
Dude,
seen
that's an anxiety inducing.
Dude, so I mean mine's definitely recency bias here, and it's perfect with what you just said, Bubba, about like when your mind opens up. The Forever Purge just fucked me up, guys. Like
now which number?
it's the last one, the one that just
So
came
how?
out.
But which was
5,
it?
I
The
think.
fifth.
So I'm a big fan of the Purge movies. I've seen them all now. I don't know. I've always been a big fan. And like this one basically in a nutshell is like they use the government's law of the purge against the government, and they start the Forever Purge, and like these people just rise up and just start fighting and killing everybody the whole time. And then all of a sudden it comes over the news and it's like Canada and Mexico are opening up their borders for the next 6 hours, and they're going to let any Americans in that can get there. And then all of a sudden you just see like chaos of like normal Americans trying to get out of these places. And it scared the shit out of me because they play like the whole politics and like government thing that's going on now. Basically how we're all just fucking after each other's throats. Like they play on that. And then it just turns into like the United States of America just turns into like a war country.
Whoa.
And it just scared the shit out of me because I could see it. Like I can, how they were playing off of it. It's like I could just see it happening. So that one had my heart racing. Very scary.
Yeah.
Those movies always sounded like crazy to me. Like I never watched any of them. I've never seen any of them.
I truly love them. And it's like, it's such a weird, they always do a good job to have the government kind of relate to things that are going on in the real world. But it's like this third party gets elected and they're the new founding fathers. And they bring in the purge where for 12 hours once a year, you can do whatever you want. Crime and everything in the country goes down 98%. So it like works and everybody just waits till that one night. And then like the first movie just is explaining that. Then a couple movies in, you realize that the government is doing government things and hires people to kill like low income people to get rid of people. And then like all of that kind of stuff happens. And that's why this one just scared the shit out of me because they couldn't do anything about it because they were doing what the quote unquote law was set up to do, but they just found a loophole to do it. Like they just didn't stop doing it.
So do you guys care about spoilers for that
On
movie?
what?
For what he's talking about?
No, I've seen all
No.
of them. Well, most of them, except for the
I
newest
want to
one.
know how the story ends.
So you've seen it too?
I've never seen the newest one, but it's
Literally
You're good.
the story ends, America's just on fire and people are fighting one another, and the group of people that you focus on, they escape to Mexico and they live in Mexico and they lock up the borders, and like America is becoming like I mean, I don't know this to be true, but like a Middle Eastern type place where you're seeing like guns. And I mean, I assume that because I'm told that and I see that. So I just assume that's how that is over there. But
Yeah.
that's just kind of what it becomes. It just becomes a state like that. Normal people are just hiding for their life and trying to survive. And you have the and they play the crazy people. They might as well have just called them Trump supporters in the movie, which like, I don't care, like whatever, like, but that's what they were. They were like the psycho MAGA type people that you hear and see of. And they all just like kind of did a storming of the Capitol, except they continued the purge and it never stopped. And my heart was racing the whole time because there's a crazy scene in it where this one's based in Texas, and it's like a oil and gas Texas ranch, and they're white people. They are Texas white people, and they have Mexican guys under them. And long story short, they end up having to work together to get safe. And they're driving down. White dude's driving, Mexican sitting next to him. He just looks at him and he's like, let's just break the ice here. Like, I can tell you don't like me. Like, why don't you like me? And it was just a weird scene because I don't know how you're supposed to take it. But he looks at him and he's like, it's not that I don't like you. He's like, I don't think I'm any better than you. I just feel like there comes a point where why don't we just all leave each other alone? Like it's like we all try to integrate and we all try to do all this stuff. It's like, it's not that I dislike you. It's not that I dislike your culture or think mine's better. I just think some things don't mesh. And I was like sitting back, I'm like, is that true? Is that not true? Like, obviously it's not true, but that moment just struck me. It was very odd.
It's a weird, it's an interesting premise to think about. Like, think about it like geographically. Like, we live in West Virginia. If it came across the news right now that like something crazy was happening and you had like whatever you said, a countdown to getting to one of the borders. What I mean, like, we're pretty like at a central spot going either way. I feel like the move would be to just just chill
Yeah,
in West Virginia. I don't know.
for real. No, it scared me, man. And it was one of those things where I watched it at night. I turned it on at
Mhm.
like 9:30 or whatever on a Friday and was just dialed in, and then I laid in bed afterwards and I was like, holy hell, this could easily happen.
Folk.
Yeah, anything where like society falls is just like, and especially when it's like real world context like that, you can be like, I mean, sometimes we could get there, hopefully. I mean, not like that with the killing and stuff, but I think the dumbest thing I did was like right after COVID started, basically like really started closing stuff. What's the movie where it's like the same thing, like the flu gene gets out?
Contagion.
Yeah, I watched Contagion
With Matt Damon.
Yeah, which was dumb.
That movie's fucking freaky.
Yeah.
Oh.
And like as it went on, you're like, okay, it's not over yet. It's not over yet.
Uh-uh.
Like it was bad.
That movie's wild.
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, dude. In the very beginning, like I remember right when like COVID started, this freaked me out because in the beginning of the movie, there's this scene where it's like there's this virus that humans got from monkeys or whatever, and it like killed literally the majority of the population. Have you seen?
I have not. No.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Because there's like
it's
this whole
creepy.
before the movie starts and it's like you're watching the news or something, and it shows like, oh, this person was infected with whatever virus that was given to them by a chimpanzee, and then like if there's like a map and it has like red beams for like the human population, and then it's like a fast forward like news thing, and it just shows all the lights like slowly turning off, like the human race is just all dying, and like that. And then when COVID started, that was exactly where my mind went, and it was just really freaky.
It makes you think too how humans would like. Let's just picture, because I think now we can assume anything's possible after these last couple years. If the food shortage stuff is gonna be like a legitimate, real issue over the next couple years, like if that's something that really comes into play, I feel like humans would just revert back to your barbarian ways, and because you're gonna have to figure out how to get food to eat. Like there would come a point where it's like, all right, listen, I know Sam across the street right now. He's got a giant deer for his family, but my family of 12 hasn't eaten in 4 days. It's like, gotta fucking strap up and go get the food for your family. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think about that stuff way too often too.
Maybe it's a naive thought of me. I just don't see a food shortage like ever happening.
That's how my brain works too. But then again, it's like
because there's it depends on like what you call a food shortage. Like, are we saying like grocery stores stop getting stock, so like that's you can't get groceries anymore?
That's how I picture like a real life food shortage.
Yeah.
Like that's what I would use the definition for.
But I feel like if that were to happen, you could fix that in like not a lot of time. You know what I mean? By like, you'd basically just tell the people like, listen, everyone, you just need to start like planting your own
hunting and
and hunting again. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like eventually
it would go
you'd
back.
correct itself, but I don't know. I just don't see it ever happening.
Yeah, I kind of think the same. But who knows?
But if it did, that would suck.
It's scary as fuck.
Yeah, I wonder how like far they've come, because I know there's been huge advances like genetically modified. I don't know if that's the right word.
GMOs.
Like, basically,
You know,
like making stuff
lab
out of nothing. Yeah. Because I mean, we're obviously so against like stuff like that now. But if we really needed it, I wonder if they could like unveil that on a full scale.
It's
And
possible.
then here, perfect. This is where you put your conspiracy hat on. It's like, are they trying to tell us this food shortage is coming so they can slide in all of this like Beyond Burger and all that like plant-based food type stuff?
Has anyone had one of those?
Oh, what is
I
it?
have
A
not.
Beyond Burger?
A plant-based hamburger or
Yeah.
whatever?
I've not had one.
No.
Me either.
I've had the Whopper, whatever.
You
it's
had the
called.
Beyond Whopper?
It was a while ago. I don't know what it is.
I thought you just meant no,
just,
but
like,
I ate a
wasn't, like-
Whopper.
it wasn't like real meat. I don't know. It,
No,
it
yeah,
was
I remember they had
plant-based
that
or,
for a while.
or what. It was not bad though.
I'm curious.
Yeah, it makes you think. And listen, I don't believe that for a second, but then I can see why conspiracy theorists would say that. I don't know.
Maybe we just all need to watch Zac Efron's Down to Earth again and
Great
just live
show.
like those village people in
Where's
whatever
season 2?
Peru or whatever. Dude, I know, right?
I thought they announced it a while
I
ago.
thought, yeah, they did, but like, come on, let's release that.
Well, I
shit.
know they definitely were filming it just from Zac Efron's Instagram. He was with that dude.
That's that
Mhm.
best. That's like the best show to like get a little bit stoned to and watch.
hell yeah.
Like the part like when they're in Iceland and there's that whatever you call it, whatever. The land is like there's like a volcano like under
Under
them,
it, yeah.
Yeah.
and the beaches are warm and they cook bread. They bury
Oh,
their
I-
bread in a
so
I
beach
want
fire.
to try that bread
and they
so
cook
badly.
it in the sand.
bet
it's
I'm
so
like, dude,
good.
this is legit.
I bet it's so good, dude.
I bet, dude. It just looked incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did, right?
And
It
then,
just looked like a nice cakey bread.
Ooh.
Then they talk about those blue zones and like you learn that those people basically just eat whatever they want, but just in moderation. Like everybody thinks to live to 100 and some, you have to live this strict whatever. They're eating like pasta.
Dude, that's the part
bread.
that was it was because there's like Zac Efron was saying his diet was always based to get in shape was high protein and low carbs. But then in the area you saying it was like an island off the coast of Italy or whatever where they eat majority carbs and
Yeah.
these people are living to like 100 in teens and it's like a crazy thing. It's like so which science is right? You like always question like you think science is science, but you have a scientist saying this, but then a scientist across the world saying this. It's like, well, who is science? Wait, is science objective or subjective?
Dude, here we go. Is anybody ever right?
I mean,
Is any because you can find theories and things to disprove every quote unquote thing that's right. But then if people
I'd say
don't agree with that certain thing, they just go, well, that person's crazy.
I'd say flat earthers are definitely wrong.
Yeah, I'd say there's some stuff that's like wrong, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Maybe.
I get what you're saying though too. It's kind
Maybe.
of what I'm saying in
Yeah.
a different way about science.
Yeah. I mean, but again, it's like, is anyone ever right? I don't
See,
know.
I'm a big believer in science.
No, yes, I'm
Th-
not saying
personally.
science is all bullshit.
No.
Yeah.
I love conspiracy theories. Don't get me wrong, but I think like there's so many logical things that like is proven by science. But then I think there's some things that are up to interpretation. I guess.
Because like one thing that like science wise, it's like you have all these scientists and people that come out and say that nuclear power would be the way to go because now it's sustainable, whatever it is. I'm not even gonna act like I know what I'm talking about. But then you have other scientists that are like, well, no, we have to just do electric. And then you have some people that say you need gas and all of this stuff. It's like, well, then who's right? Which one of you are right? Why can't we just do it all?
Yeah.
But that's
the
a very
thing you
specific
gotta remember
scenario,
about those
though.
people though is a lot of them push behind the scenes agendas, which is
Propaganda.
why
Right,
they
yeah.
say that stuff.
Where's the money coming?
Exactly. And it's like, but yeah, who knows the correct answer to like that question? I don't know.
Is anyone ever right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I know what I want to say.
What?
Fuck Jalen Bridges.
Dude, yeah.
That's what I want to say.
Dude, like
Yeah.
I just
Listen, you can transfer. You can do whatever you want to do. You can go wherever you want to go. But don't transfer to an in-conference rival and expect people not to fucking rip you.
no,
Like people are. I'm not gonna. I'm a team loyalty guy. I'm not gonna be like, yeah, great for Jalen. He's going to get a bag and catch his dreams. It's like, no, dude, fuck you. You're not a Mountaineer anymore. I don't have to cheer you on
Yeah, I
because you're
know.
going to Baylor.
I'm so tired of seeing that. Like, oh, congratulations. I'm rooting for my West Virginia native. Like, shut
No.
up. He left WVU. Like, that should make you more mad that he's from West Virginia and left. And everyone's like, oh, but, we have to support them. We can't be disrespectful. And I'm like, shut the fuck, shut
we
up.
can be whatever we want to be.
Like John Flowers' tweet yesterday or today. Did you see him?
No.
I forget what he was like supporting what he did. And I'm like, why? I don't know. I'm like, why? You're a WVU fucking legend, Final Four fucking GOAT. Why are you going to sit here and root him on? Like, I'm not saying you have to say, fuck you, Jalen Bridges. You're dead to me and shit. But, like, why are you, like, cheering him on? I
don't want him to get hurt.
No,
I don't want him to have bad health. I'm just in this fuck you mode where it's like, you're not on my team anymore. I don't have to root for you. It's just like the Von Miller thing. As soon as Von Miller was my favorite Denver player forever, the day he left, it's like, fuck you, dude. I'm not rooting for you anymore. You don't play for the Broncos anymore. And then, Messador or whatever leaves WVU because he's afraid he doesn't feel safe on the campus, and he goes to fucking Miami. The U.
I didn't really understand that comment. I didn't know he really said
Didn't
that.
understand it either. Apparently, one of his friends got stabbed at a bar.
It happens.
I mean, dude, people get stabbed in Morgantown a lot. I
Yeah,
will
it happens.
say.
I mean,
But you can't tell me that it's a more dangerous town than Miami.
That was just a cop out to leave.
It was. It is. That's all it is. That's
Just
what
be
I
honest.
have to say about a lot of
Yeah.
these situations.
just
like
be real.
These athletes, I'd have way more respect for them. Not saying I'd root for them still, but I'd have way more respect for them if they just were honest about why they were leaving.
facts.
I guess Jalen Bridges was pretty honest about it today.
That's true.
He didn't directly say, he called it a business decision, which means he left to make money. So I can appreciate that, but I won't root for him.
No.
I won't. And I know we as fans, like what you're talking about John Flowers, like how could he support that? It'll always be different for the fans and then like the guys that actually played, because if John Flowers, he's a Mountaineer legend, he played all his years there, graduated there. But if he was playing in today's landscape and had the chance to go somewhere and make more money, he probably would.
Yeah.
They all think alike. Like a lot of those guys, they come from nothing, so they see the opportunity to get money for their family, they take it. I get all that.
Yeah.
But from a fan's perspective, it's bullshit. You're dead to me. Maybe that sounds a little harsh, but I'm not going to root for you or support the decision.
Yeah, like,
I
I
think
don't
it's
have
I
to-
think it's bullshit.
Yeah, I don't have to be like, oh, yay, like, good for you.
It
I'm not saying, like, I hope he dies, but, like, I don't need to be like, yay, good job.
it
like,
changes
Yeah.
the entire landscape of sports now, though, which blows. Because I told my mom, she didn't understand it, and I had to explain it to her. I was like, remember the days where we had 4 years of Deshaun Butler, and we had 3 or 4 years of Pat White and Steve Slayton? That'll never happen anymore.
No.
You'll never have a player unless they are loyal as fuck.
It's going to be very rare. Let's
Very
just say
rare.
that. You're not going to get those days where you come to just love a player so much
Like
because
JJ Redick from Duke.
because he was there for 4 years and like won so many. Like 4 years is a long time of memories to make. Like you watch
Absolutely.
one guy play for 4 years. Like there's a reason why everyone fucking loves Pat White, Steve Slayton. I know
Javon
Slayton was there
Carter,
for
all
3,
those
but
guys.
all those guys, exactly. Anyone that Deshaun, like, it's just different. And you're right. I don't think it's gonna be
different.
it's gonna be rare situations where you see that anymore.
And my dad said it the best. He's like, we just have to hope that they can bring people in and they can put a plan together, and we're just rooting for 1 year now.
That's what it is.
You don't
Yep.
look down the road anymore.
Nope.
Now you're like, here it is right here. Is this the team? Nope, because next year we're
yeah,
going to have
seriously.
a
Everything's up in the air.
Sucks. And that's what I mean. Like, I've never been a huge college sports guy. I mean, obviously, I like it a lot, but I've never been that like entwined in it. And like, how can you be now?
It's
You know what
hard.
I mean? Like, how can you have that blind loyalty when you have no idea what's coming next?
Well, and I said it today. I was like, Mom, this is probably the best thing that's ever happened for pro sports, because now people are just going to be like, well, why do we even care about this? So let's just start rooting for the pro sports now. Because
and that's what I was gonna say. Like, for some reason, I think of it a lot differently when someone's been in a one school for however long and then they go to the pros. It's like I hate when people are like jumping all over them, because it's like it's a once in a fucking lifetime opportunity. They're going to make money, and I guess this is kind of like that. But for some reason, my mind says it's a lot different.
Well,
it's the
It's just
easy
different.
way.
Like you can't compare like even though WVU fans trust me, were trying to crucify Will Grier for not playing in the bowl game his last year because he's going to the NFL.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, I don't care about that at all. Unless you're making the playoffs or a big bowl, which, let's be real, those big bowls, they don't fucking count anymore either. It's
Nope.
playoffs or bust.
Facts.
If you're not making the playoffs and you have a chance to go to the NFL, I do not care if you sit out of the bowl game.
I,
Yeah.
And I
yeah,
don't think
feel
that I wouldn't consider you a traitor to
I
the
agree.
team.
I agree with that.
So
100%.
like you can't compare that to leaving. That's the thing about this transfer portal thing now too. If this is going to be the norm, they need to make it like pro sports where there's like a trade deadline. There needs to be a transfer deadline to where like these athletes only get that certain window to do it.
And there needs to be a limit on how many times you can do
Because all this shit like just comes out of nowhere. At least from like a coaching perspective, you would know, okay, we're nearing that window. This will be the only time we can lose guys. It's not like Neil Brown said, you get done with like Tuesday practice and an hour later you find out one of your best players is leaving.
Yeah.
Because you're like, where'd that come from?
It's so ass.
It should be like the redemption rule in beer pong. You get one time to do the transfer portal, and then that's
Then
it.
that's it.
Seriously though,
Well, because it'll happen more, I think, in basketball than we'll see it in football. But mark my words, in the next 4 to 5 years, we will see players come in and have amazing freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior seasons, and they will
All
play
at
on
different teams.
4 different teams. Yep.
And it's going to happen, and it's going to suck. But because they'll jump from a St. Peter's, and then they'll jump to like a Wichita State.
what about old fucking Doug? What's his face from St. Peter's? Thought he did something.
Yeah, go ahead, JT.
He joined the transfer portal, and then where did he go?
Bryant.
And then I can't steal this as my own because it was someone in the comments. It was something like, dude quit his job at McDonald's to go work at Wendy's. It's like I hate to make fun of him, but he thought he did something. Like he thought after that run he was going to go play for fucking Duke or something. But he
They all
went
should've
to
stayed.
Bryant, whatever that is.
Dumb.
No clue.
Were there any other things on the notes before I
No.
fucking lock this shit down?
Not really. I thought it was cool how Taylor Alderdice dropped on Spotify on 420.
That was
pretty
pretty
cool.
legit.
That is pretty lit.
I was bumping it yesterday.
I went through it yesterday as well.
Yeah.
Lizzle, man.
I also liked how I didn't get to see the whole video with sound, but how that guy just got pounded by Mike Tyson. 'cause he was
Oh,
being a
yes. I'm
jackass.
happy you brought that up. I'm so pissed off at Mike Tyson because he should have put that dude in a body
He
bag.
should have.
Just looking at that 20-second video, or however long, you know that kid was a daddy's boy. 100%.
And
you know he was a rich kid, probably in some probably in some frat boy at a college. You know, his dad's a lawyer or whatever.
That's
one of
so
those.
funny. You
one of
have
the-
to say that.
One of those kids. You know what I
Because
mean?
again, I am so for the normal guy just get the shit.
Me
beat
too.
out of
Me
him.
too.
But like,
I love it.
Imagine being so arrogant and so entitled that you're chirping Mike Tyson.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
Like, think
one of the
about
one or
that.
two people, and he's probably not number two that you just wouldn't do that to.
Yeah, like think about how delusional, like how much you've been given everything in your entire life where you think you can sit to Mike Tyson and chirp him in his
And
face.
Mike Tyson offered him shrooms.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, you want to turn up with me? Like, that kid was probably doing that for 20 minutes, and we only saw
Yeah,
a 20-second
like,
clip of it. You know, as soon as Mike Tyson sat down, that kid probably sat at the airport bar and had 8 beers and forgot he was in the real world and not
Yeah.
over his phone.
Yeah.
And Mike Tyson comes walking in just because he's on the same flight as you, that you're going to start calling him a peasant and running your mouth and acting like Mike Tyson isn't going to fuck your day up.
Like Mike Tyson.
I mean, like, what a dickhead. Listen, Mike, I love you. I'm so happy you did what you did. Just
Yeah.
next time, hit him a little fucking
Yeah,
harder. dude.
there should be a new clause in the law system of the United States because of that. Because of phones, people think they're tough. That dude should get the shit beat out of him and then do 2 years in prison.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Because how can you be that stupid?
He
Yeah.
should
People are
just,
going after
see, I
Mike.
think
No,
he should
that
just
guy.
be like publicly shamed for a year.
Yeah,
Shame.
There
which
you
he
go.
probably will be
Yeah.
now because they got
I
it.
think that's good enough
It's-
punishment.
it's
I mean,
just-
like, what an idiot.
What an idiot.
I know. It just blows my mind. Like,
If Mike Tyson sat down in front of me, I'd be like, worshiping him.
Me too.
I would be like, Mr. Tyson, would you
Dude,
like a water?
Same. I just know.
I'll go stand. You
I'll
can have
go
my
sit-
seat too.
yeah.
You
I-
want these? Get sprawled
I
out,
would
buddy.
be so excited, and then my mind would just go blank. I wouldn't know anything to say to him. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
dude.
have you ever been that way? You like run in to someone or something.
Starstruck.
You
Mhm.
just don't even know what to say.
Oh yeah. One time I got off an airplane. I was delusional. I got off an airplane, thought I saw Sidney Crosby right in front of me, and just froze. Froze the fuck up, and got like this feeling like, overcame my body, and then I quickly was like, "That's not him." It was a weird ass moment, and like I don't know why I thought that. And this dude, I don't know how to explain it. Thought it was Sidney Crosby,
Yeah.
wasn't
It
even
just-
close to
just
being him.
completely froze.
But that's
though.
exactly how I'd be if
Yeah.
I would see Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
The last thing I would think of is I'm gonna chirp this man. That is the
seriously.
absolute last thing I'm
literally,
thinking
yeah,
of.
like, yeah. No, but I would, like, I just know myself. I would know to say, like, if he looked at me, I'd be like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And then I'd have nothing after that. You know what I mean? Like, if he stood there to try to have a conversation, I would,
he'd be like, "How you doing, man? You want to do these shrooms with me,
Yeah.
man?"
yeah. Seriously, that was pretty good, Jake.
Thanks.
I tried to listen to his Rogan episode, his most recent one. It was tough.
It's just too much.
I couldn't. I had a hard time. I had to turn it off. I could not, like, it was tough.
Dude, so the reason Rogan kept his table the same size in Austin as he did in LA, because he was gonna get it like a foot shorter so they were closer. He said that he did the podcast with Mike Tyson the first or second time, and he said he was so fucking scared because he was so like big and whatever, and like he was like, I'm keeping the table the same length because if we were any closer, I would feel like he was just gonna fucking knock me out. Yeah, man. And then
Yeah, man,
I
I
love
did-
Mike Tyson. Then he goes on impulsive and he just fucking puts his hand in this bag of shrooms and just eats the
Yeah.
whole thing. And he's just like,
It's like, yeah, man, I didn't realize how fragile life was until I did DMT. I'm like, what the fuck?
Shout out Mike Tyson.
Shout out to.
All right, it's been a time. Twitter, Instagram, Juice Fisherman. Please subscribe to the YouTube. Thanks.
You can catch me on Instagram at John Theodore Nixon. That's John Theodore Nixon on Instagram. I'm on the Juicebox Podcast Twitter. That's at the Juicebox Pod. That's at the Juicebox Pod. Follow us on Facebook, the Juicebox Podcast. We are not the diabetes, the Juicebox Podcast.
Follow me on Twitter at Bubba Slider.
I've done a little bit of rebranding here.
Oh,
I'm now only available for comment on Twitter. Don't hit me up anywhere else. Hit me up on Twitter, and it's at JuiceBoxZar. That's JuiceBoxZar on Twitter. That's ZAR.
Z as in zebra, A as in apple, R as in Reebok.
Don't get it twisted.
Earth,
Goodbye.
Earth to Czar. Bye-bye.